Yo, what's up, everybody? So, in this video, we're going to do a high level review of high level, or what many people like to call go high level. So, many of you who are new to high level or go high level are probably wondering, what did I get myself into, right? You were given access to this platform, this software, this app, this CRM, whatever you want to call it, and you're now wondering, like, what do I do with this? It's almost like having a big old box full of premium Legos, and you are not sure what you should be building with it, right? You can build whatever you want with this thing. You're just not sure, where do I start? Where do I begin? So this video is going to do an overview of what all of the pieces are. So we're going to look at every single one of these Lego pieces, just do a brief overview of what they are, what they do, and then in future videos, we're going to review all of those individual pieces by themselves and review how we can execute any particular purpose that we have using those different tools that we have access to. So what you see on my screen right now, this is our dashboard. So when you first log in, so if you have a general sub account, or if you're an agency, what you would want to do is make sure that you're logged into a sub account. So if you're in an agency, you want to go and create a demo sub account, just something that you can work inside of, get yourself familiar with what it is that you're going to be clicking around with. So I would recommend you get a demo account set up, and we do have a video showing you how to do that. But for the purposes of this, we're going to continue on, right? So log into your demo account, and now that you're in your demo account, here's what you would see. You'll be approached with the Launchpad. So the Launchpad is here to give you where you should be starting. Um, but before we start looking at that, I want you to kind of take a look at some of the other things that are available to you to click on, right? So of course you have a launch pad. You can search. You can filter through your searches. But then we have some buttons over here that can be useful to you, depending on, are you a sub account user, or are you an agency account user, etc. The first one here being the phone logo. This is a phone icon. This phone icon, this allows for you to purchase phone numbers, or actually make phone calls. This account, we don't have a number purchased for it, but you can make phone calls directly through clicking on that button. A click, excuse me, I was going to say high level. On the agency side, you can see that you can also use the Ask AI feature, which is available now as well. So you can draft social media posts, summarize contacts, generate funnels, website builds, email campaigns, whatever it is that you like. You can get that started here. So just so you know, high level, we just came out of high level summit just last week, and in 2025, and they really released a ton of features that we have been asking for, and they've delivered. So a lot of these features are advanced. Some of them have not been deployed yet. You have to turn them on, and I'll show you how to do that. But there's a huge effort to make AI available in each one of the steps that we can take with high level, each of the things that we can do with high level. So that's extremely, extremely exciting to know that they're staying on the forefront of AI, and what they're bringing to the table as a software package for us is absolutely amazing and very competitive with all the other tools that we could find out there as well. So when High Level says that they're an all-in-one marketing tool, it's truly an all-in-one marketing tool. A couple other things, if you want to take a look at some of the latest updates, introducing new templates, bulk prospecting, Google Maps. Here are all of the new things that they release, so you can take a look at your new updates. If you have any notifications for you as a user, you'll see those there. And if you have any questions, depending on, again, what side of the agency you are on, if you're a sub account user, if you're an agency user, this might be different. But as an agency user, you'll be able to hop on to High Level and ask questions, and get some help directly from their customer support team. And of course, you have some information about yourself here, allowing for you to log in and log out, and log in as other users if you're an agency user as well. So going back to where we are on the left side. So this side is where you're going to focus most of your attention on, right? So of course we have the launch pad, and the launch pad is here again to get you off on the right foot. So I would recommend that you go through all of these things, specifically not just in the demo account, but make sure that you are running it in the real account as well, that you're actually going through and connecting all of these things first and foremost. So your Google Business, first thing being the mobile app, go ahead and do the installation on that, and they'll just provide you a QR code or text you a link that you can go, depending on if you're Android or an iPhone. You can go to the App Store or the Play Store and download the app. This is a white label version or gray label version of the app we call Lead Connector. So if you're an agency user, you'll also have your sub account users, your customers, your clients. They'll also be able to install the app and it'll show up as Lead Connector and not GoHighLevel. So that's just a way that they've been able to, kind of protect what we're using to, provide the services to our customers. The next thing in line is to go ahead and get your business, your Google Business profile connected. So what this allows for you to do is all of the integrations from your Google Business profile, your reviews, any updates that you want to make, all of the different posts that you can make there. You pretty much want to be connected to this as well, right? Facebook, go ahead and connect to that. Generate leads from your website with a chat widget. They'll have you, set up a chat widget. If you use WhatsApp for communication, you can go ahead and integrate that as well. Integrate a payment system. We currently run Stripe. There's PayPal. There's NMI. There's Authorize.net, and there are actually several others that are coming on board, such as Square and a few others. Keep building your presence with this thing called Yext, which is a feature that allows for us to, be able to improve the listings, your SEO listings for businesses. So if you're doing this for another business owner and they would like to have SEO services, you can go ahead and do that connection for them there. If you're running websites on WordPress, you can make that connection here as well. But of course, if you have any team members that you want to add, go ahead and add them here as well. So this will just be your basic, very starting position, right? So the next thing that you'll see after you hit Launchpad, and you'll see how much of it you've completed according to, the little tracking here. You can see this fills up once it's complete. But over here, the next thing that will be your dashboard. Now, the dashboard is going to be, let's see if I get that out of the way. Okay. So your dashboard is just a very basic, simple dashboard, right? You can see all the opportunities, the pipelines, and I'll explain what each one of these things are as we go through it. But this is a great way for you to keep track of what's happening in your business. You can edit this however you see fit. So you can include, add additional widgets. So if you want to look at contacts, appointments, how many appointments you have booked, you can add the widgets that you like there, appointment count. You can take that in and save it, and you'll see that pops up down here as further along, right? And you can move it if you want to move it to a different spot. This is a drag and drop type of feature that you can use as well. So it really depends on what it is that you're trying to accomplish with your business. That'll determine how you decide to set up your dashboard. But just know that these dashboards are extremely customizable. They can be customized per sub account, and you can create all kind of filters. You can have different themes, change up the colors for these. It's really, really exciting things that you can do with these particular setups. So I'll cancel out. I won't save it. It's no purpose in doing that. But definitely a great feature to have. Also, you can clone a dashboard. You can duplicate it into another account as an agency user. You can upload a dashboard template into sub accounts that you have already created. So if you have a custom template that you use for your sub accounts, you can do that and upload these. You can manage the dashboard time zone, manage the permissions on who sees what according to your team member credentials. You can really customize and create a super duper dashboard for your customers and for yourself as well. And of course, you can filter through the dates that you want to take a look at and all of these different things all in one. So it's really, really cool as far as this dashboard is concerned. Most people overlook how important this really is and how the benefit that a lot of users can get from this, particularly when you're running an agency where you ultimately just want your customers to just experience and witness what's happening. You may be doing everything for them, and you just need to provide them with just a way to see what's happening in their business, right? So how many leads did you get today? How many sales have you made? How many people are still left in the lead status and what their statuses are in your sales pipeline? All of the different things that you might want to track for your users, you can put that all here. And if you wanted to hide all these other things from them and just show them the dashboard, that's all they really care about, this is a great place to start. Build out a customized dashboard. And of course, in future videos, in some of our other videos, you'll also see how we can customize this according to different use cases as well. So the next place that we're going to go is into conversations. So here in conversations, this is where you're able to see all of the conversations that are happening inside of your business. What you'll notice here on the left side is that there's a few things that you can do when it comes to these conversations. You can start a new conversation. You can search for conversations that already exist. You can also take a look at this as a like your email inbox, right? You may have things that are directly so your inbox, that all messages inside of your inbox, things messages that were assigned to you or messages that were followed by you. You may have a team inbox for internal team communication, which is similar to like Slack. It's the same way you would use Slack. And then an internal chat as well, where you're doing internal chats between yourself and other team members as well. So really, really cool feature that helps you to keep track of all your communications, not just customer communications, but also team communications as well. You can also see over here, you can see the unread, the all, you can see what participants are inside of this internal chat, etc. Right? It's a lot of things that you can do here, which is really, really cool stuff. So back to your general or inbox. So as you're here in this inbox, one of the things that you can also do is take a look at the contact details. So as you're looking at that, I don't have any communications in here yet, but if there were any contacts here, you can take a look at all of the conversations that you have. And when you click on a conversation, you'll be able to pull up the contact details, any activity that has been going on, what workflows they may have been in, any associations that they may have with any other businesses, etc. Any tasks that you have in place that need to be completed or have already been completed, any notes that you want to put onto that particular customer or contact, any appointments that you may have in process in progress for that particular contact, any documents that you want to have stored. So anything that they may have signed, as talk about, or you may not know. High Level has their own like their DocuSign feature where you can send out invoices and contracts and have them signed and stored in your system and have it be easily referenced back to a customer and contact that agreement was for. And also, if you want to take a look at any payments that have been made, you can do that as well. So there's a lot of things that you can do to really help you with understanding not just what's happening inside of the conversation, but also seeing what else has been going on with this particular customer. Also here, you can see that there are a couple of shortcuts, some keyboard shortcuts, some navigation, how to navigate around the system, conversation actions, composer. So if you want to compose, schedule a message or an email, control shift before you send it. If you just want to send the email, you hit send. If you want to skip and hit enter, then you can hit, control enter, and that'll skip the line versus entering to be sent. So those little things that you are wondering how to navigate around with your keyboard and what shortcuts they're available. That's how you will find that. So really, really simple, straightforward. And of course, as this populates, you'll see more information, more people, conversations that have been had, etc. But then over here, we're going to go over to manual actions. This is where you'll be able to take a look at any manual actions that have occurred that created conversations with users, right? So if there was a workflow that you put people in, some sort of automation, and there were conversations that were generated as a result of that, they will show up here in the manual actions just to see, what happened, where these conversations came, so you can keep track of what's going on and what's triggering what. Snippets is where you can create um, templated responses that allow for you to quickly respond back to people when they communicate with you. So on conversations, if there's somebody you're talking and they ask the question like, "Where are you located?" You may have a snippet that you can click on that answers that question. Click on it and hit the button and pretty much send all that stuff out, right? So really straightforward as far as what snippets are. It's just really useful as well for quick and automated, not automated, but quick manual responses. You can do that. In most cases nowadays, with the AI that we have implemented, in most cases, the AI responds back without you having to be manually involved at all. Trigger links also is another place that there's some things that you want to do here. So, for instance, if you are sending messages out and you're putting links in there, you want certain actions to happen once that link is clicked. So, for instance, you're sending out emails and you're putting a link for someone to book, and the action could be now that the person clicked the link, now you're waiting for them to book the appointment. If they don't book the appointment, then you'll send some follow-ups to remind them, hey, we've noticed that you were going to set an appointment, but you haven't. Here's a link to go ahead and go back to the calendar and get your appointment booked. So these are links that trigger certain actions to occur, triggers actions through workflows. And this is a great place to automate some things as well as far as what's happening inside of your communications with your customers. Settings here is where you'll be able to set up some SLAs, help you define response time targets so your team never leaves a contact waiting. So this is how you define and should respond to customer messages. So this is a quick way to have people reminded that, hey, we have a conversation that hasn't been responded to. We have unread messages. We have tasks that need to be completed, etc. So you will set those up in here. So that's conversations. The next section would be calendars. Really interesting, right? A lot of us in business, calendars are like our blood, right? Our bloodline. This is what keeps everything together because we're booking appointments. We have customers coming in, clients, we're booking stuff for ourselves all over the place, right? So calendar is going to be extremely, extremely useful. So when you're first setting up your calendars, you will be approached with to the setup of the calendar. So you want to go to your calendar settings in order to do so. If you did have calendars, you'll be able to see the calendar. You'll be able to see the appointments. You'll also be able to see who's assigned to certain calendars and also check on the calendars if you want to filter and sort just to take a look at any one of those particular things. So appointment list is just a list of the appointments that you have and have had in the past, but also have coming up in the future. And you can check on the statuses of those appointments. Just a basic appointment view and not a calendar view. Pretty much do the same thing, but this just gives you a list of all the appointments. But how do you get all of that stuff set up? You would do so by going to calendar settings, which actually brings you into the settings portion of your dash of your menu over here. But this is where you would set up your calendar stuff. So inside of your setup, you can set up new calendars. There are several types of calendars that you can create. You can have obviously active and inactive, but here are all of the types of calendars that you can create. Round robin calendars, event calendars, class booking calendars, collective booking calendars, service calendars, and personal calendars. So all of these have a specific purpose for a business. And one of the things that GoHighLevel wanted to do was make it available so that these relate to whatever functionality it is that you're looking for. So let's say that we want to go ahead and create a calendar, and we can see the different calendar types. So the personal booking calendar is a calendar that is associated with a team member. So this is a calendar specifically associated with a team member. So it tracks their availability schedule. It tracks their meeting links, so their Zoom links, Google Meet links. It also ties into their Google calendar, their iCloud calendar, iCal, their Calendly calendar. You can do a lot of things, but these are personal calendars for specific team members that it's attached directly to that team member. And then you have a round robin where there's a calendar that's not associated with a specific team member, but maybe associated with a specific team, like a sales team, onboarding team. It may have multiple members in it and have to be assigned when every time an appointment is booked, it's assigned to a new member. And you can set it where it's equally assigned across members, or a certain member may get a certain percentage of these, and another member may get a different percentage of these appointments. It really depends on how you want to set it up, but it's very, very flexible and customizable in that way. A class booking allows for you to have one host that meets with multiple participants. So you have one meeting location, one host, but multiple people can book themselves in on that same time. So as you would do for a webinar, some sort of a masterclass event where it's your calendar that it's on, but you want multiple people to book in, not just a single person booking in for that appointment, you'll run class booking. Collective booking is that you have multiple hosts that meet with one participant. So you may have some sort of consultation going on, or a team meeting where your team is meeting with one individual. So the one individual comes in and registers on that calendar, and it gets dispersed onto all of the other team members' calendars that are associated with this collective booking. The other ones would be an event calendar, similar to a personal calendar, specific to events where it's not necessarily associated with any particular host, where the host will be assigned according to the event or whatever your particular use case calls for. And then service booking is where you can book services, right? So spa appointments, repair services, consultations, where people are selecting their services, and based upon the service that they select, the calendar will apply. So if it's a service that requires 30 minutes, they will be given 30-minute slots. So if it's a service that requires an hour, 2 days, 3 days, then they will be given that amount of slots according to that particular service. And you can also have groups of services where for instance, if you're a spa and you're running a spa, you'll have a group of services that are relating to maybe skincare. You might have a group of services that are relating to something else, right? And then you can have those grouped out, and that is a great way to have your booking services categorized and for easy navigation from your users. So those are the types of calendars that you can have. Extremely useful to dig into these, and of course, up in further videos, we'll go into more detail when setting these up and how to set them up, etc. So those are your calendars. And as we mentioned that you have service menus that you can create, you want to run your service menus and create their service menus here and then associate them with the calendar at some future, after you've created your services. And inside of rooms, you may have rooms that are being booked, right? So if you're there's so many different use cases, but maybe a spa, and you may have different rooms that are booked. You can book a particular room and not just the service. You can have those room books. And also, if you are someone who rents out equipment or needs to book equipment, so equipment will be used for a particular appointment, then you can have that equipment available or unavailable based upon where it's being used and when it's being used. So if you have a piece of equipment that's used through multiple different people on your team, but one person has a scheduled appointment that requires their use of that equipment at that particular time, then that equipment won't be available during that slot of time to another team member who may need it. So they will only be able to book it at a time where it's available. So extremely customizable, very flexible as far as what you can do. Really, really great what they've done with calendars. And there also are a lot of calendar updates. And of course, anytime there's an update, you just come up here and see that there's something going on that GoHighLevel wants to notify you about. Go ahead and click on it, and you'll find that there's going to be some great information available to you there as well. So after we've gone through the calendars and you set up your calendars and you deal with your service menus, your rooms, your equipment, you may have some preferences. So, when your week starts, the services in having these turned on or off, and maybe you need them, may not need them. What language, the time format that you would like. Again, the day, the week, the day of the week that it starts on. So some people say that their week starts on Monday. Traditionally Sunday is the first day of the week, etc. So there's some basic preferences that you can do there. Availability is where you can set the availability for your particular team members. So you may have team members and you set all of their availability and create their schedule. And that way the calendars that are associated with them will rely upon their availability, not just the general availability for that calendar itself. And of course, when you want to connect to outside calendars, you come here to connections. You'll go over here to your calendars, add a new calendar, which will include the availability of a Google Calendar, Outlook Calendar, iCloud, or Calendly. And also you can set up your video conferencing through Google Meet, Zoom, or Microsoft Teams. So this is really extremely useful when it comes to the communication between your calendars, making sure that there's no double bookings, that you're not overbooking yourself, and that you're not taking slots that have already been added to your personal calendar. Maybe you have a dentist appointment with your kids, and that's on your personal Google Calendar. That slot can be blocked off on your business calendar so that it can't be booked during that time that this stuff shows up on your Google Calendar, and of course all these other calendars as well. And then when you do automations like sending out messages, hey, you booked this appointment, here's where we're going to meet, here's the link. Having these connections to these different video conferencing softwares will allow for your links to go out automatically and seamlessly and have these workflows work as they should without much manual involvement. So those are your calendars. That's how all the things that you can do inside of there. And of course, we have videos showing how to go into detail with building these things out. So the next area that you want to do, we're going to go back. So after we're dealing with calendars, we come over here to contacts. So contacts is where you're just going to keep track of all of your contacts. This is where you'll have a list of all of your contacts. You can load contacts in, you can add contacts, import them, export them, all kind of things that you can do with your contacts here. So let's just go ahead and add a quick contact real quick. Let's just do demo tester, and let's do demo tester. And we would need, in order to create a contact, you would need either an email or a phone number. You can obviously have both, but one or the other will allow for you to create that contact. So once you have a contact created, several ways that you can do that. You can have contacts created automatically. Sometimes when people fill out, not sometimes, but every time someone fills out a form, a contact is created. A Facebook form, a contact is created. Somebody text messages you, a contact is created. Somebody emails you, a contact is created. There's several different ways to create contact. But of course, the manual one is just simply come here and add one, right? So now that you have your contacts in here, there are several things that you can do with contacts. So you click on a contact, you can export it out to something else. You can trigger an automation, send them an email, add a tag, delete them. If you wanted to send an SMS, send a WhatsApp, request a review from them, manage something about this particular user, add a tag as we mentioned, or remove a tag, or merge them with another contact, or delete them together. So a lot of different options that you have available to you here. So contacts really useful. Many of you, these contacts will be coming automatically from your marketing efforts and other things that you want to do. But many of you probably have a contact list that you want to import. So you would do this importing. The contact should be the list should be in CSV format, and of course you would just come in here to contacts, and it'll be a bulk action that you can see, what's going on with your import. But it's a fairly simple process. In another video, I'm showing you how to go through that. You simply upload your file and create your contact sheet, and then import it. And once you have it imported, now you have these contacts inside of your CRM, inside of GoHighLevel, and you can pretty much do whatever you like to do with them at that point, communicate with them, etc. Bulk actions is where you would see all of the different bulk actions that you may have occurred, such as sending out an email to a group of contacts, tagging a group of contacts, importing a group of contacts, exporting a group of contacts. Anything that you do with the contact will show up on the bulk actions. This is the view of the details with statistics and progress information from the bulk action request. And again, a bulk action is any time that you decide to do an action on a contact or a group of contacts together. Restoring is the restoration. Any contacts that have been deleted will show up here so you can restore them. There is a certain amount of time that they will remain available after deletion. But now I believe it's about 90 days, I believe, but I'll have to double check on that. But again, if you want to retrieve any deleted contacts, you can do so here. Your task view is where you're going to see all of the tasks, not just associated with one contact, but all of the tasks associated with you as a user. So if you're logged in as you'll see all of the tasks that are associated with you. If you're logged in as the main agency owner, head of the agency, you'll just see all of them. You'll see who associated, the contact associated with it, and who was assigned that particular contact and that task. So you'll be able to see all of that here. Everything that's due today, anything that's overdue, anything that's upcoming, you'll be able to see all of that stuff here. You can manage all of the fields that show up, any additional details that you want, when it was created, and the updates that were made, and the associations that are present from opportunities, any other companies for that particular contact. Everything can be tracked and seen here. You want to create a task or add one, you can do so here as well. Companies is different from contacts in the sense that a company can be a place where many contacts are a part of. So you can have company information where you can add a company, like the company that you're working with, and then you can associate this company with users or contacts inside of your CRM. This allows for you to do multiple tracking things, not just tracking individuals, but tracking companies as a whole and all of those individuals that are part of that company. So it's a really cool feature that allows for you to just kind of get a higher level overview of your contacts and where they're part of as far as categorization and grouping based upon the company that they're associated with. Not many businesses that we work with are really using this because for the most part, many of their contacts are different businesses. There's no relation between many of their contacts. And then finally here we have the management of smart lists. So the very first place, I don't think I mentioned this, but of course your contact list is what we call a smart list because it is something that can be manipulated in many different ways. And if there were individual smart lists that you imported and you categorize that as so let's say this is your Q4 sales list, then this will be a smart list and you can name it Q4 sales list, and anybody on that smart list will be present here. So you can look at them individually according to the smart list that they are present. So that's your contacts. So next we have opportunities. So opportunities are what we like to consider to be where prospects, leads, customers, clients are in your sales pipeline. So before we even talk about opportunities, probably the best place to start would talk about pipelines. So a pipeline is your sales pipeline. You can create custom pipelines such as what you see here. So we have a marketing pipeline, which will include a new lead, contacted lead, proposal sent, and closed. And you can see that you can include these stages in the reports for a funnel chart and in the stage distribution, which is on your dashboard, as we had seen a little bit earlier. But you can add stages, you can move stages up and down depending on where they are. The only thing that I don't like about this per se is it's difficult to just copy over. Just have a bunch. I'll go through. When we go through the actual setup of this, I'll show you why. And there's different ways you can manipulate this stuff to kind of make it easier when setting it up. But for now, just know that this is where your sales pipelines are, and this is where you will be deciding and determining, what it is that you're tracking when it comes to your prospects and your leads. So of course, when it comes to marketing, tracking makes all of the difference to know what's working, what's not working, what to scale on, what to cut out, and having pipelines to see where people are in your sales process and tracking them all the way through is going to be extremely beneficial to you and the businesses that you're serving. Bulk actions here are any bulk actions that occur from opportunities. You can do bulk actions on contacts as well as bulk actions on opportunities. So what happens is when somebody is inside of a pipeline, if they're inside of the new lead stage, they are representing an opportunity inside of that pipeline. So when you come to opportunities, you'll be able to select your pipeline and you can see all of the contacts that are now listed under each one of those phases or stages of your pipeline. And of course, in a future video, I'm going to show you how you can set this up with real contacts, real leads, etc. The next area is payments. This is where you can control and set up all of the different products, orders, subscriptions, invoices, and everything relating to you accepting money and providing service in return. So your contracts, et cetera, et cetera. So the first thing that you're going to see when you come to payments are your invoices and estimates. But what I would like for you to do first actually is go all the way to the end and go to integrations. This is where you're going to integrate your payment system. So if you did not already do that inside of your Launchpad, you're going to do that here. And as you can see, we have Stripe, PayPal, Authorize.net, NMI. You can do manual payments like cash on demand, cash on delivery type payments, but also Square is connected here as well. And then I believe we're going to be bringing on some more in the future. I believe Zero is one that's going to be coming on board pretty soon, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, so all you want to set up your integrations first. Then once you have your integration set up, then you can come in here and kind of create stuff. So you can create invoices. You can have take a look at your recurring invoices, templates of invoices, and estimates. So if you have businesses that run estimates, you can do all of those. The documents, all of your documents and contracts, as well as the templates that are relating to deals as well. So you can create things on the fly. Your orders, you'll take a look at anybody who has placed an order, but any business that, any customer that hasn't necessarily completed an order will show up in your abandoned checkouts. So this is something that we see most often inside of e-commerce, abandoned checkouts. But you're a service business, you may be a med spa, you may be a lawyer or a contractor of some sort, and you send out contracts and people need to pay you. And you might have somebody who started the process but didn't go all the way through. You'll see, hey, you didn't go through, and you send them an email and make sure that they finish out that order, right? Subscriptions, you can take a look at all your subscriptions. You can create payment links, individual payment links for individual people that won't work for other people, won't work more than once, et cetera, et cetera. Your products, this is where you set up your products. You can create collections of products. You can track your inventory, and you can also track your reviews on those products as well. You can create coupons. So if there's a coupon code that you want to create, you can do that for any particular product or service. And of course, here your settings is where you'll set up all of how your receipts go out and how things look, what emails go out when somebody buys something from you, what your notifications are going to be to the customer once they buy, on the team, what notifications does the team get. You want to set up taxes, you can do so here. Shipping and delivery, your shipping origin configuration can be done here as well. Of course, there's some walkthroughs as you get new to the system, as you're going through each one of these. You'll be able to click on all of these, and you'll have some pop-ups that show you what you should be clicking on, et cetera, et cetera. Subscription settings, retry after the first attempt, retry after the day one, retry after the second day, 5 days, 7 days. You can set up how you want your subscriptions to go through and how people receive their notifications and stuff like that as well. Miscellaneous charges, how you want that to be handled. Enable passing processing charges to customers. So if you're being charged a fee, a convenience fee, then you want to charge that to your customer, then you can do that as well. So that if say for instance 3% from Stripe, $1,000 product, it'll cost them 1,030 when they check out because of your convenience fee. Just like many people, when I pay my bills, I get charged a processing fee and a convenience fee. So it's not something that's uncommon. Of course, your payment link customization, where you can customize the payment links for how your stuff goes out, the brand colors, themes that you want to use, etc. You can do all of that here. So payments is where you would control all of your contracting, documentation, orders, subscriptions, products, coupons, etc. So really, really cool stuff. I think many businesses will find. Actually, in fact, as you're going through this, what you'll find though is that you can also receive on the Lead Connector app. You can receive payments by tapping a card, scanning a card, having somebody manually enter their card information. So you don't need any additional equipment. Most of your phones now have NFC, which is the tap feature, or you're tapping to pay or accept payments now. You can tap your phone on somebody's card and accept the payment according to your services. So your POS or your point of sale can now just be your cell phone or your iPad, right? So really cool features here that we have available to you inside of inside of GoHighLevel. So it's really really cool, interesting stuff. So then here, next, we're going to go down to the AI agents. So as we mentioned in the very beginning, AI is a huge part of what GoHighLevel is trying to do for businesses, marketers, and small businesses. And this is a great place for you to now take a look at what's available in the AI space when it comes to using GoHighLevel. So they have a get started, create your first AI voice agent. So there's a voice AI and there's a conversation AI. Difference between the two: the voice AI is the AI that makes and accepts phone calls. The conversation AI is the AI that meets people in conversations on text messages, on social media DM channels, so TikTok, Facebook, Instagram DMs. Also will be your live agent on your website. That's where your conversational AI comes into play. So they'll getting started helps you set these up, create your first conversation AI or your voice AI. Then you have an agent studio, and this is where you can build out agents to perform certain actions for you. This is something that we're going to do a lot of deep diving on. I think that we're going to actually have a whole section just for this alone to show how you can create agents, what agents are useful for. So this is the new agent builder. You can create multiple agents in the same location, folder in the agent builder canvas, and manage different versions of your agents. So really, really cool stuff. It's almost like the OpenAI agent, where we're trying to compete with that, as well as competing with N8N and all these other different automation softwares and platforms. Having an agent studio directly inside of GoHighLevel eliminates the use of having those third-party tools. Your voice AI is where this would have brought you if you decide to click on setting up your voice AI. It would have brought you here. You'll create your agents. You have your dashboard and logs, which shows you all of your engagement that your agents are now doing for you. And then you have your agent list showing all of the agents that you built out. And then from there, we have your conversational AI. Same thing. It shows you the agents that you built, as well as the dashboard or the log, showing you all of the communications that it's handled, what percentage of communications it's had and dealt with, etc. And of course, when you're dealing with AI agents, you need a knowledge base, or would want to use a knowledge base, so you can feed it information about your business and what it is that you do. So you feed it information about your website. You just give it the website and it will scrape all that information from you. If you want to upload PDFs, you want to upload images, anything like that, you can upload that as your knowledge base so that the AI bot can reference that information to make better decisions on how it interacts with your leads, your customers, and even interacts with you as a business owner as well. We do have some agent templates that you can use. So there's a marketplace full of AI agents. It just brought us here to the app marketplace. As you can see here, people have created a bunch of AI reps. So this individual here, CRM Pros LLC, created the auto repair services and insurance solution one. You have marketing agencies, real estate services, AI that sells fitness and gyms, barbershops, all kind of templates that you can use to build out your AI agents, all present here for you inside of the agent marketplace. And then content AI is the AI that allows for you. So it's in the AI agents because it's still AI, But this is the AI that you can use to create webs, to create any kind of content, creating images, creating text. And this is what it just shows you how many words are generated, how much it cost you, and how many words per day it's been generating. And also on the images side, how many images were created, what did it cost you, etc. So you can use this to create images on your website, create images inside of your social media posting, because High Level does social media plan and post as well. To all of the different places that you can potentially put content, you can create that content with AI, both text and image. And this is just a way to keep track of those things, those assets that you've created. So the next area that we're going to move on to would be marketing. So here inside of marketing, this is where we deal with email campaigns and how you can get in front of people. And some of the things that we showed earlier relate over here as well. And I'll do my best to have it all kind of make sense, because there are plenty of different places that you can go to get to the same thing. But they try our best to make sure that we categorize things accordingly. So here on side of marketing, you can see that the first thing is your social plan. So you can connect your Facebook, Instagram, your Threads, your Google Business Profile, your LinkedIn, your TikTok, your YouTube, your Pinterest, the community, and Blue Sky. And the community would be your community inside of High Level. So you can connect any one of these types of accounts to start automatically posting social media posts on those platforms through your High Level account. You can create recurring posts, generate feed from RSS, evergreen queue posts, so having stuff go out automatically on your behalf. You can do that, and then bulk posting with CSV files as well. So really, really interesting stuff. As we know, the way marketing is moving nowadays, content is what's driving most of our traffic. The ad platforms are no longer interested in what your particular targeting may be and all that stuff. All they care about is to tell us, give us the content that will resonate with your audience, and we'll find the audience. And so having a social media planner is going to make a huge difference for your business and your customers and your clients as well. The next area is your emails. This is where you can create campaigns. You can see how your emails are being delivered, your delivery, how many of them opened, the clicks, how many people ordered. You can take a big view of all of your engagement on your emails and how it's all working for you. But of course, you can create campaigns inside of here as well. When you create a campaign, create a blank one, use a template that already exists, or if you have templates of your own, you can use those. This is your statistics that you're looking at. You can take a look at your campaigns if you have campaigns set up. Email campaigns are separate from workflow campaigns. Email campaigns are just email campaigns alone. Workflow campaigns may include some emails to go out in that campaign, but will also include some other things such as SMS, some chat GPT functionality, some updating of opportunities and pipelines and stuff like that. So it needs to be done inside of the workflow. But you can also take a look at the status of it, of an email performance inside of a workflow. Same thing with bulk actions. For instance, when you're clicking on contacts and you want to send out a bulk email, that is qualifying under a bulk action, as we talked about as a contact action. That is a bulk action. If it requires, if you're sending out an email, then anything email related will show up there as a campaign that was done for email as well. So it will also show up on your bulk action campaigns here. Any templates that you have, you can create them, create with AI. Again, new template would include template from an existing campaign, email marketing templates that have been loaded into High Level for you, a blank template, or if you have an email that you want to import, an example of, you can do that here as well. So, I mean, there's no reason why you can't have the perfect email set up, because we give you so many different options to do it. Snippets, as we had spoken about before, is a quick way to get quick messages out. So quickly insert predefined content into messages for faster, consistent communications. With AI nowadays, most of this is being phased out by many business owners. Countdown timers, if you have countdown timers, you want to keep track of them, you can have them here. If you create a countdown, let's say you have a countdown for Black Friday, you can create it here, and then you can reference it on any website, any page, any text message, anything that you're sending out in communications. You can reference this countdown timer inside of it, and the time will always be the same across all of those different places. Trigger links, as we have spoken about, create a link that can be clicked on. Once it's clicked on, it can trigger some sort of other action. So this is extremely useful for tracking the activity that's happening from your email campaigns, SMS campaigns, whatever it is that you're doing outreach wise. If you're requiring people to click on something, you can track what they're clicking on, as well as perform other actions after the click has occurred. Your affiliate manager, it's in marketing, so you are able to run affiliates. You can have affiliate campaigns. You can take a look at your payouts. This is the affiliate side of your sub account, which means that you have your own affiliate capabilities where you're creating affiliates and you have affiliate programs, affiliate campaigns. And we'll go through that as well in a future video. Brand boards is how you set up how your brand looks. So the colors. So as we've seen earlier, and when you're setting up your templates and how your dashboard looks, you use your brand colors. You can set that all up here and have everything reference your brand colors from your website to how your calendars look, and all reference the brand board that has been created here. And of course, another video will show you how to do that. We also thrown in a ad manager here as well. So as you're integrating your Facebook, you're integrating your different platforms, you are able to come in here for a low investment to manage all of your stuff directly in here, where you not only are managing your ads, but you're launching and creating them here as well. So you're sending your ads out. You obviously you're never missing the detail. All the ads that you can see right here inside of your high level. You don't have to go to too many different places to go see it. Focus on your efficiency, spend on what matters, deal with everything as you normally would in the ads manager on the Facebook platform. You'll deal with it all inside of your high level, just making it super easy to get to. Stay all in one place. You're looking at your leads that are coming in, like, man, I got this lead yesterday. Let me go ahead and take a look at what this lead was. You can see the contacts. You can stay all in one place and everything being handled all in one spot. So super duper useful to be able to come in here and take big advantage of marketing. Again, as you're scrolling through any of these menu items, if there's any updates that are being made here, you can take a look at it here because high level will notify you and tell you, hey, there's something new about this feature that we're showing you. Come and take a look. So then we're going to go over here to automation. Automation is exactly that, right? It talks about primarily workflows. This is where all of your workflows are going to be. So a workflow is a way to have a automated process occur without manual intervention. So that can mean an email drip sequence or an appointment confirmation workflow, or somebody sends out, calls you, you have a workflow that they automatically get a text message and an email if you have the email address, or a follow-up sequence that you take them through. You can create any workflow that you would want from scratch, or you can select from a group of templates that we provided to you as well. Or you can do it based on a company-based workflow, right? So if there's a workflow that you use in your company and you can just tell the AI here, hey, this is what I want to create, and the AI will help you create that workflow as well. So you can see here, it's just a simple, if this happens, then do this, that type of thing, right? Somebody books an appointment, send them an email. Somebody calls us, somebody missed a call, send them a text message. Somebody doesn't show up to an appointment, send them a follow-up email. Somebody bought something from us, send them a thank you letter, and also give them a coupon code. Somebody didn't buy something from us, send them a coupon code. All happening automatically without any of your manual intervention. Super, super cool. This is what makes high level one of the best platforms in the world when it comes to marketing, because automations makes our business so much easier, and it allows for our clients to work smarter, not harder, and they can eventually make more by working less by leveraging technology and the use of automations, and particularly the use of AI inside of these automations as well. So we have tons of templates that can be used. Understanding workflows, there's a whole bunch of videos that are here, how to build workflows from scratch, workflow settings, and checking out your logs and all that. And of course, we have a whole section on building workflows, and we do weekly Q&A sessions on workflows and how to build specific use cases. So this is going to be a place that we spend a lot of time. There's an overview of your workflows, how your workflows are working, if you have any functionality that's causing any issues, how many workflows you have published, how many people have been enrolled in these workflows, so how many people have gone through them, all of the different things that you want to take a look at in regards to your workflows and their and how they're working and their efficiency. You can take a look at all of that here. For the global work settings, that brings us back in the settings. This is global workflow settings. This is how your workflows will work just globally. So if you want to allow people to come back into workflows if they've already been in there, so duplicate sessions inside of a workflow, you can do that. If you want an email notification that a workflow error has occurred, set that up here. Auto save your workflows, you can turn that on. Pause workflows if there's something that you want to stop. So you're going on vacation, just pause my workflows during this specific season. Not that I want to turn them off and maybe I'll forget to turn them back on kind of thing, but let me just turn them off on an automated type of section, right? So you can do that fairly straightforward, straight to the point, right? So that is your automations. And of course, we go into a deep dive into automations and workflows and videos. So the next place that you want to go is into sites. This is where all of your sites are. So we have your funnels. And of course, a funnel is a predetermined path that you want a visitor to undergo so they don't are not blinded by or distracted by a lot of other options. So they don't have a lot of links to click on and menus and all that stuff to go through. A funnel is just a process of once they go through this, here's the next step. They click on the button, then they get to this next step. Is this a straight pathway that you want them to take? Versus the website, which could just be general. Now, for both of these websites and funnels, they can both serve the same purpose, could potentially do the exact same things for you, but they definitely have their purposes, right? So again, we use funnels if we want to generate leads, appointments, and receive payments, and if we want to just showcase what we do and kind of highlight all these things. We could build, websites to showcase products and build trust as a brand. So we can have AI build out both websites and funnels for us. We can create them from scratch, or if we want to use a template, we can do that. Thousands of templates that are available for that as well. Straight to the point, fairly easy. And of course, we build a lot of this stuff out with you on our sessions regarding these particular categories themselves. So we obviously will go through a lot of this in other videos. So you do have funnels and websites, but you also may have a store, right? So this is where you can do build out of a store. This is competitive with Shopify. So there's a whole process: creating and customizing your online store, adding your domain, adding products, setting up your payment provider, setting up your shipping, and placing your test order. So there's a whole guide that they take you through here. You could create multiple stores, right? You don't just have to have one store. You could create multiple stores. You can create a store from scratch or create a store from a template. So anybody that's working inside the e-commerce space and working with people who are in e-commerce, this is a great way to help them maybe transition over into a better platform where everything is all handled all in one place and not having to buy additional third-party apps on top of their Shopify. So, for instance, where Shopify doesn't provide all the tools that they may need, right? Doesn't do the email. Well, they do email campaigns now, but there's several other things that you will need a third-party software to do. But here inside of HighLevel, it already does it for you, right? So AI, workflows, websites, the whole 9 yards. You can have it all in one. Why not bring the store here as well? You could also run webinars, have a whole webinar funnel, so on-demand webinar or a live webinar. So that's available to you here as well. And you can connect these to your Google Meet, through Zoom, through these different other platforms that are available as well. So here in your analytics, you can take a look at all of what's happening on all of your pages, your funnels. So you want to take a look at what's the visitors on your funnels, what's happening, people are opting in, how many people are buying, what your conversion rates are. You can take a look at all of your analytics there. If you want to create blogs, you can do that as well. Blogs can be separated from websites, but also included into websites. But this is to be separate from your website, particularly because you can just create a bunch of blogs and then load them into your site over time, or however you want to work on that. WordPress websites can also be imported and managed here as well. You can host WordPress sites directly here, the seamless hosting, which allows for faster load times, etc. So you can host all of your WordPress directly here. So if you have clients that are doing this, or if your own website is on WordPress, you can activate it directly inside of HighLevel. Your client portal is, say, for instance, where people, you have clients and you want them to log in to see certain things, information of their own documents that they may have signed and stuff like that. You have a client portal dashboard. You have settings, which is how you have people log in, where they log in at, what site they go to log in on, etc. Then you have forms, which is obviously you can build forms. You can analyze those forms and take a look at your submissions. The form builder is really, really simple. It's as simple as it possibly gets. You get a bunch of different sections that you can add on. Of course, we'll show you in other videos how to do your form build outs. You can also build out surveys, which is a little bit different from forms. Surveys can include, conditional logic and certain things where the questions are presented one by one. So if they answer one way, it brings them down a different path, and if they answer another way, it may bring them to another path. So you can run a survey, but you can also now run quizzes. So you're looking at the quiz and you're looking at the answers that are provided and whether or not they answer these things correctly. So obviously quizzes from a student perspective, this is really great if you're running courses and stuff like that. But we're also running quizzes on leads and prospects. quizzing them on certain things, which may be a little bit different from a survey if you find a use case for it. So very, very interesting stuff there. Of course, as a part of sites, you may have a chat widget installed on your site. So you want to install the chat widget and deal with the chat widget settings here. QR codes, which will send people to different sites and send them to different things, whether it's an SMS message or an email, preloaded email, or send them directly to another page. You can do all of that with QR codes. And of course, we'll go into each one of these individually and show you how they work in total. And then next we have memberships. So memberships is where we set up all of our memberships, right? You can launch a client portal as we had talked about a little while ago on sites, but you can have courses. So you can have people come into courses, you can have course products, you can have offers, which are a combination of products or a single product offered for a certain amount of time or a certain price or whatever. You can analyze what's going on with your course sales and also set up your settings. And of course, we'll go through that individually. Communities, which is like a competitive to school, SKOOL. So communities now, there's a branded, you can do branded mobile apps, so you have your own community in your own app, or you could use the gray labeled apps, just like how they gray label Lead Connected. There's a GoCollab app that people can use to log in. So community is extremely beneficial. And many of you who are in our community are in a community on GHL. So if you're inside of the Scale Society community or the GHL Classroom community or any of the other communities that we host, it can all be found. This is where we're hosting them ultimately. Credentials, all of the credentials that you would need to log in, how we manage credentials, and we'll show you all of that as well. And then there's also a GoCollab marketplace where people are actually creating apps for your communities, allowing for you to, build certain things out, right? So you can build out courses, build out a community, and then this is allowing for you to do it on autopilot, right? Let's create this thing for you. So create, collab, and inspire. So what do you want to build? Course, let's create it. You want to build community? Cool, let's create it. Kind of a walkthrough type of process for you. So really, really cool. Media storage. This is, I think, underappreciated, overlooked, and underestimated that you have a place that you can store all of your files. This includes not only images, but it also includes video, PDFs, any type of file that you want to upload. You can upload it and store it here. And as you can see, as you scroll, there are no if you think about, there are no, there's not like any a tracking that's saying, hey, you use up 50% of your storage or you used up 2% of your storage. So there's really no limit to how much you can load in here. So load as much as you possibly want. All the videos that you have, all of the images that you have for your business, all the content that you want to load, go ahead and load it in here. And you will be given a link that you can share this stuff with if you want to share it outside. If you want to use it in something else, you can just get a link to it and use that link, and it will get you directly to your product or your site or whatever it is that you're sending people to. So really, really cool here. Take full advantage of it. It can connect to your Google Drive. You can upload stuff directly. You can create new folders, but you can also bring in AI imagery as well. Now, of course, we'll show you how we could use a lot of this when we're building our websites, funnels, and all of that good stuff. The next area that we want to go into then will next be reputation. So this is where we do our reputation management. This is connecting, as we talked about, integrating into your Facebook, integrating into your Google. This is where, excuse me, you can take a look at all of your reputation metrics, all the KPIs related to your reputation. So here's your stats. How many people have you invited to send you reviews? How many people have reviews have you gotten? What's the sentiment of those reviews, right? You can see that whole thing here, send review request. And if you're, again, building and doing SEO work, you can see where your SEO is building. If you decide to get this additional service, which is Yext, they'll show you that there, right? Invited trends, review trends, etc. All this cool stuff you can do. Your competitor analysis. Now it's like, hey, let me go and take a look at where my competitors are. Or how are they getting, you can add up 3 competitors, compare your business online reputation to people across these different platforms and uncover insights that will help you stand out and win trust. So this is now spying on your competition and seeing what type of reviews they're getting. So when you're dealing with and you're sending a review request, you might want to send a review request asking a question that may be answered the same way the positive reviews were given on your competitor's website. Right? So on your competitor's website, somebody has a positive review about the fish sandwich. So instead of sending them a question about the chicken sandwich, you send them a question about the fish sandwich because you've done the research. People love the fish sandwich more than they love the chicken sandwich, whatever, right? So you can do all these different things and customize it according to what your competitors are doing. You can take a look at all the requests that you have sent. So you deal with the customer, you satisfy your requirement, you give them the service, give them the product, whatever. Send out a review request and see, how they feel about that product. Also, come in here and take a look at all of your reviews, and these sources will come from Google and Facebook, is where they are being tracked. You can also put your review widget in different places and create widgets, right? So many people will find that there's widgets on websites, etc. You can create a widget, drop it on your website, and now you have your reviews present when people show up in different places. You can do listings, which is again back to Yext, showing all of the places that you're listed. It does all of the backlinks, make sure that all of your information is the same consistently across all of these platforms. It's extremely useful for a lot of businesses, and I think that you probably want to take full advantage of it for sure. This is your settings. This is how do what types of your AI reviews. This is your AI review response. The AI will actually respond on your behalf. You can have it set to these channels. You can do a legacy review, what you call it here. You have no tone, and it can start responding according to whatever time frame you set for it. You can have review links. You can send out SMS requests. You can do email requests. You can do WhatsApp requests. You can do QR codes that ask about the reviews. You can do spam reviews. If people are sending you spam, you can automatically detect them and fight against them. And also you can integrate into several platforms to showcase your reviews that you're getting as well. So there's several platforms, so add review platforms by entering the page link to import reviews. So you can import these reviews from all these different platforms. So if you have people that are using Angie, Glassdoor, I think there's like several others, Trustpilot, Uber Eats, Thumbtack, like any type of customers that were using these and getting reviews on these, you can take those reviews, import them into your platform and showcase them as well, right, on those review widgets, etc. So really cool stuff that you can do here. And of course, many of us focus primarily on getting reviews from Google Reviews in our Google Business Profile. So you want to integrate your Google Business Profile so that all those reviews are coming in fairly consistently and efficiently. Next, we're going to go over to reporting. This is where you can take a look at generally what's happening in your market. So I did show you the ads manager. You can go in there and manage ads. But if you want to take a look at in general what your reportings look like, you can do customized reports. So let's say you have a client that you're working with that requires a certain type of report. You can create that report for them right here and have it go out to them automatically, or you can have it track right back to their dashboard, which shows up on the dashboard. It's really cool stuff that you can do with this. Your Google Ads report, have your Google Business Profile tied in, your Google Ads account tied in. You can see all of the action that's going on in your Google Ads. This is just a sample here, but this is a great view of what's working, what's not working. Just looks like a typical ads manager type of display. Same thing here with Facebook ads. You can take a look at the same thing, all of your campaigns. You can go into go into the campaign, go deeper into the campaign, go take a look at the ad sets, take a look at the ads, and see all of what's going on so you can make decisions directly inside the platform without having to leave. Your attribution report is how you're going to take a look at all of what's happening from what's going on with your marketing. So all the leads that you have coming in, the revenue that's being closed, how many of them you won, and where they're coming from, right? So page visits, direct traffic, the URL terms. So if you're setting up your URL parameters, you can see exactly where people are coming from, the links that they're clicking on, where they're going. Really, really cool stuff. So this works really well with Facebook ads, URL, UTMs, Google, etc. Get to track everything that's going on with your attribution and where people are coming from when they're visiting your websites, etc. Your core report shows all the different calls that are being made, inbound, outbound calls, the statuses of those calls, where those calls are coming from. So if people are calling from mobile phone, et cetera, right? You can see all of that, or locations. You can do all of that different stuff there. How many inbound calls are coming, outbound calls are being made, what the status is, how long they were, what the reporting is, and of course we record phone calls as well on the system. So you could take a listen to all of what's happening there. Your agent report is the reports that your agents were undergoing. So your AI agents, your voice agents, conversation agents, you can see what's happening here as far as what your agent was able to handle. But then we also have this as agents themselves, which is your actual people working in your business, right? So these are actual people who are working in your business as sales agents or whatever. So these are team members, and it's tracking what's happening with them specifically, right? So SMS is sent out, email sent out, call metrics, what their efficiency is, etc. So keeping a track of your team member and their output, so to speak. Your appointment report, how many people showed, booked, confirmed, didn't show, etc. Just a general overview. And a lot of this information, of course, can also be placed onto your dashboard for even more consolidated view over what's more important to you. So really cool stuff here. It's pretty straightforward, straight to the point. All the things that you can keep track of and what's happening with your business. Your audit report. This is when you're running audits for other businesses for prospecting. So general marketing audit report for free. You can generate reviews, group performance results, and SEO stuff and all that kind of stuff to run reports. So this is where you would run an audit on a business. You click on that. You have to integrate your GPP. So you will be able to get an audit on what's going on in your business. And of course, this is something that you will run for your clients once they have all the connections made. Run the audit directly in here so they could get some insights as to some of the things that they could do to improve. So we just got a few more that we're going to close up with. So the last one being, well, not the last one, the next one being the app marketplace. This is a place where there are apps that our third parties have developed to help you with certain parts of your business. So you can see here there are categories and what the app may contain, all this different stuff. Again, use this at your discretion. Some of it may be useful, some of it may be not. You just need to make sure that you're working with a business that you're familiar with what they're supposed to be doing for you. Wouldn't say that they're not trusted because GoHighLevel does put them through a little bit of a QA for from what I'm understanding. But again, just make sure at your discretion that you're using apps and stuff like that from people that are trusted and that you know what you're going to get. So really cool stuff as far as that goes. You can see all the apps that you have installed, any apps that you are yourself reselling out there, or can be resold. So you have these guys who go CSM. You can have a price that you set up and price that they sell it for. You get a profit. All this kind of cool stuff that you can do there. The AI agents inside of your marketplace. This is again another place where people are dealing specifically with AI agents. So as we had seen earlier in the AI agent setup, this is the same place that it was in before. The mobile app, this here is just setting up the mobile app, just getting to the lead connector. Same thing that you would have seen in your launch pad. Just got to enter your customer or your client's information, and they'll be able to download, or they can just come directly. Come in here and just copy this and email it to them or text it to them, whatever, and they'll be able to get to the app. You can send invites here directly as well to get them to the app. And then this is okay. That's actually a little custom link that we have specifically for this agency account that we're working with. But in a nutshell, that is all of what we have on the menu side. The other parts of this would be settings. So in settings, you have a whole other section of your menu. So in settings, you have your business. I'll just go to the very top. So business profile, set up your business information, all of the information about your business, set it all up there. Your billing, this is all of the information in regards to how you like to get paid. Sorry, we did that on payments. Billing is how you would like to make payments in the system. So people who need to add their credit card information so that they can buy credits, to run AI, to make phone calls, send text messages, etc. That's where that will be handled. In my staff, this is where you and your staff will be listed. Add users, etc. You can do all of that there. Opportunities and pipelines, so allow different owners and contacts and different owners of contacts in their opportunities. So you can have different people related to a specific opportunity. Same thing in pipelines. You can have create pipelines directly in here and all that good stuff. So this is another way to get directly to that where you were already have the opportunity to do it. You can do it here inside of settings. Inside of the automation settings, and I'm going through this a little bit quickly on the settings side because again, this is just settings, right? So if you're looking at how do I set this up? What are the settings for this particular feature or the settings for this particular thing? It just brings us back here. So as we had been clicking on calendar settings and workflow settings, this brings us right to here. That's where these things are handled. So the automation settings, we kind of went through that. The calendar settings, we kind of went through that as well, where you're making your connections and all that good stuff. The conversation AI settings, we went over that as well. where this is where your AI agents will kind of show you, the dashboard, what's working, and how to, the settings and setup for the AI agent. Same thing with the knowledge base. Again, it's just telling us to go to AI agents to go ahead and mess with that. And this will tell us pretty much the same thing. You have your agents dashboard and your agents list. This is the same thing that we saw on the other. The email services, this is just a little bit more of a detail in regards to what email services you're using. You can use Lead Connector, you can use Mailgun, you can add additional services. You can take a look at your reply and forward settings, your bounce classification, see how much emails are being bounced and how you're being rated that way. Postmaster tools, if you want to get with Google, it's Postmaster tool. Phone numbers, this is where you're going to keep track of all of the phone numbers associated with your business. You'll be able to buy phone numbers, register your phone numbers, and do all that good stuff. In other videos, we're going to show you how that is all done. Your WhatsApp connections, you can do all of that here as well. You're connecting up your WhatsApp, you're making all these different connections. And it's just ultimately just a straightforward thing, but it is a cost to connect to WhatsApp and have communications go through WhatsApp. Your objects, we have objects here. This is a little bit of a deep dive, something that's maybe a little bit more complicated than what most would think of. But this is where you could create custom objects, and we'll talk about that. But just know that this is here. We'll go through that in another video. We'll kind of highlight what that is. Custom fields, these are fields that when people fill out forms, create contacts information, you can store this information in what we call a custom field. And this custom field then becomes a placeholder. So we can use contact.first_name inside of an email, and it'll give us the first name of the contact that we're sending that email to. Every single contact will be given the first name, obviously, and this right here will represent the first name for every single contact. And the same thing for all of these different placeholders as well. Custom values is another form of placeholder, but it's a general placeholder, not necessarily a placeholder inside of a contact, but it's a general placeholder that can be used across your platform. Scoring is how you score leads. You can add points if an email is open, add a point if the status of an appointment is confirmed. You can add rules to add points, and that'll score leads, tell you what their engagement score pretty much is, right? How much are they engaging with you according to what your requirements are. Your domains and URL redirects. So this is where you'll connect domains. You can buy domains, connect domains, transfer domains, and URL directs is where you set up links to direct to other places. So we'll kind of go through that in another video as well. We have some external tracking where you can track what's happening by dropping some scripts. Take some scripts, you drop it in, use our tracking scripts on external sites to bring all your analytics in one place. So you'll take this script that'll track what's going on your website, and that'll bring information in. So you're looking at your visits, your page views, and stuff like that. That's pretty much what they're doing here. Your integrations is where you would integrate what we spoke about integrating on your Launchpad. It's pretty much the same thing. You are running integrations inside of Facebook. You're running your Google integrations, all that stuff. That's pretty much what that all is. So just waiting for it to load. Not sure why it's not loading in for me right now. It's just taking its sweet time. But that's what integrations are. It's all the places that you can integrate. Stripe, all the integrations that you can make. Then we have private integrations where you can set up a private integration, meaning that you can set up your own integrations into external apps such as N8N, Zapier, and a couple other things. And I'll show you in another video how that relates to some of the things that you can do there. Conversation providers. This is right now we just run an SMS for most places, but if you want to add and take a look at some other like Twilio, if there's Twilio involved, that would be something that'll be there. But for right now, you won't really find much inside of there. Tags, this is just keeping track of all the different tags that you have available that you tag people with. So you can add tags, etc. You can take out tags, do all that good stuff. Labs, this is where you can turn on and turn off features that are not yet solidified but are still in beta mode, so to speak. So as you can see, all these are turned on for me. I recommend that you turn them all on anyway, but this is where all of the things that GoHighLevel is working on, when they're going to launch it, when it's going to be active. So it's active now. If you want it, it'll be live in 7 days. You can't turn this off right now because it's already live, so on and so forth. Right, so it just kind of tells you what the status is on these different features. So that's that there. Then you can run to your audit logs. This is just when you're running logs, if there's something that's going on in your business and you want to take a look at everything that's happening, right? So I created a contact. You can see that there. I went into country and postal code and did all this other stuff. You can see, all these little things, right? That I was messing with today as I'm going through this video, ultimately, right? So you keep track of what's going on in your business. And then finally, the brand boards is where we can set up your brand board, which you have seen in marketing. It's pretty much the same thing, right? Just go and add your design kit, set up the whole design kit, your brand voice, which can be used in the different assets that you create, websites, funnels, etc. Right? So that is high level. That's all of the things that you can do with high level. It's a high level overview of high level. And in the next several videos, we're going to go into each one of these menu items and do a deep dive into each one of these sections. So we'll do a deep dive in funnels, deep dive into websites, deep dive into workflows, etc. Right. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope it was useful. If it was, drop a comment, let us know. If you're inside of our communities, give a shout out, let us know that it was extremely useful. Let other people know that they can find this video useful as well. So I hope that was great. I hope you learned a lot. I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one.